Hello everyone, welcome to sqadia.com. I am your educator Dr. R.M. Munir with another lecture on hematology. In a previous lecture, we talked about the bone marrow failure syndromes. We talked about the general symptomatology, the general features common to all the bone marrow failure syndromes. Then we talked about the aplastic anemias and pure red cell aplasias. This lecture is the second part of that lecture, and in this we are going to continue our discussion of the bone marrow failure syndromes. The two major disorders that we are going to talk about in this lecture are the myelodysplastic syndromes and the myelophthisic or the myelophthisic anemias. We're going to start off by the discussion of myelodysplasias. We are going to break down the term myelodysplasia. What does this term mean? How do we define myelodysplasias? What are the cutoff points that differentiates it from the other disease? Why do we call it as a pre-leukemic condition, and how do we diagnose this condition? Moving forward, we are going to talk about the general clinical features. This will become very easy if you understand the pathophysiology and the etiology of the disease, which we are going to talk about in great details. Then you can make out the various types of signs and symptoms based on the understanding of the pathophysiology on your own. Moving forwards, what are the important labs or the lab work which we have to do to arrive at a definitive diagnosis? What are the various things which we look for when we do a peripheral blood film in this patient, or when we do a peripheral bone marrow examination? What are the important cutoff points that classify it as under the umbrella of myelodysplastic syndromes? Then after we have an idea of the disease, what are the other things which we have to keep in mind, and so that we can have a good differential diagnosis? How do we differentiate it from certain other similar problems like folate deficiency or aplastic anemias or certain other types of refractory anemias or an acute myeloid leukemia? Because it is a pre-leukemic condition, so it is very important to differentiate it from acute myeloid leukemia, because the signs and symptoms will generally be the same. So what is that important cutoff point regarding the number of blast cells in the bone marrow that differentiates in the myelodysplasias from the acute myeloid leukemia? I'm going to talk about all of this in great details when we talk about the differential diagnosis. Moving forwards, we are going to discuss the treatment options which we have in these patients. What are the definitive treatment options? And if we have a patient who is not fit to undergo these definitive treatment options, what are the other things which we can do to halt the progression of the disease? The various types of modulators on a genetic level or immunosuppressors or the growth factors, we are going to talk about them briefly, and how do they play an important role in halting the progression of the disease to development of a full-blown leukemia. Afterwards, in the last part of this lecture, we're going to talk about the myelophthisic or the myelophthisic anemias. What are the various conditions that lead to development of this anemia, and what is the bone marrow picture in these type of patients that differentiates them from myelodysplastic syndromes? Then moving forwards, we are going to talk about the hallmark of these disorders. What are the cells which we are going to find out on a peripheral blood film? What are we going to find out on a bone marrow exam? What are the other signs and symptoms involved in this disease, so that we have a clear understanding of the process going on in myelophthisic, and we are able to differentiate them clearly from the other disorders. And then finally, what are the treatment options which we have based on an underlying pathology or a primary disorder? So to watch this complete lecture along with thousands of other medical lectures on any other area of your interest, be it the basic sciences or the clinical course, if you are a medical student or if you are a practicing physician, all of these lectures are very helpful for you in your career, and we all strive to make you understand medicine to the best of our abilities. I'm going to see you in another lecture. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.